Are you tired of busking on the streets for spare change and ammo? Want to rent your own fancy apartments? Well, this is a guide for you. Welcome back, Chooms. It's One Dragon here, back with another Cyberpunk 2077 video. This time I'm going to discuss how to get infinite eddies using crafting loops at both level 50 and low levels. In this video, I'll showcase and discuss the most profitable crafting loops at each rarity tier, so you can use this video to profit at different levels of technical ability and at different stages of the game. I'll start with a brief explanation for new or returning players, then dive into my recommended items at high and low levels. Since patch 1.2 and in every subsequent patch, component prices have been reduced, and since then, I've been able to find the best craftable items to sell for a profit. Basically how it works is you can go to any weapon, medicine, or junk vendor to buy crafting components, craft an item which is worth more than the total cost of those components, and then sell it. Depending on your level and perk spread, you can make upwards of a few thousand eddies per craft. After, you can skip time to refresh the store and rinse and repeat. So there's a few perks that are helpful in making things more profitable. First of all, the common and uncommon gear can be crafted without perks. However, rare, epic, and legendary, you'll need either True Craftsman, Grease Monkey, or Edge Runner Artisan. Afterwards, to increase the profitability, it's a good idea to grab cost optimization for the 30% component cost reduction and ex nihilo for 20% chance to craft the item for free, meaning there's a 1 in 5 chance of you crafting the item for free and thus just printing money. As you level your crafting, the skill progression will add another 10% component cost reduction and another 5% chance to craft an item for free. If you decide to hit level 20, you'll gain Crazy Science, which is a big increase to the sale of items by 10%, and if you'd like, you can reset your perks and spend a big chunk of them into Crazy Science to get all the money you need in one go. However, this is optional. One final note is that as you level, weapons and clothing will scale in both stats and price. So at level 50 or max level, the items will have the most stats and will therefore sell for the most. This is the reason why I have divided the video into several sections. The most efficient items to craft at high levels, and then the new items that you should be crafting at low levels. I personally prefer to craft by this gun vendor or the medicine stand in Arroyo, since you'll have access to all components, both vendors are within walking distance, and you can skip time in front of them. Prior to patch 1.5, the most profitable items to craft were jackets and Ashura. However, there has been a rebalance of the economy, so we're going to revisit each particular tier. As a general rule of thumb, smart weapons are the most profitable if they're available. Okay, so let's take a look at the most profitable items at each tier. For each item, I'll put the profit on the screen. I'm at level 20 crafting, so if you're at level 18, you might have slightly less profit because I already have that Crazy Science perk automatically unlocked. Okay, so starting at legendary, we have the Ba Xing Chong or the Ying Long. The Ba Xing Chong can be grabbed after completing any ending and returning to the back of the Ebunike. The Ying Long can be found at an NCPD suspected organized crime in Haywood. There is an even better legendary item to craft in the early game, so I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to get these until around level 30, but more on that in the early game section. Moving on to epic. A lot of people choose to craft epic gear because you don't need to hit an additional button to confirm that you want to sell the item. At level 50, you can sell the A22B Chow or the HJKE11 Yukimura. The Yukimura should be automatically unlocked once you hit 7 crafting progression, and the Chow can be purchased at the Vista Del Rey gun shop. In the rare tier, the most profitable specs are the free DLC clothing, the luminescent punk jacket, and the multi-layered Sin leather jacket. Depending on your level, you may find the durable Sin silk blazer more profitable. The crafting spec can be bought at a couple of clothing stores, but I use the one on the border of Night City and the Badlands in the trailer park. In the uncommon tier, there's once again the Chow and the Yukimura, and they can be bought at a bunch of different stores. I bought the Chow crafting spec from the gun vendor in Westwind Estate. and the Yukimura in Japantown. In the common tier, there's the Nekomata, but it's not very profitable. I've been tracking a few items that I've put in a spreadsheet. If you're looking for alternatives, there are plenty of other ones that are slightly less efficient. Now for the interesting part. At low levels, all of the weapons and clothing are significantly less profitable compared to level 50. If we take the Ashura, for example, at level 50 there's a profit of 2,339 eddies, as opposed to 310 at level 13. Additionally, this is also less profitable compared to the last patch, since prices were reduced in the early game. However, there are a few items which are now more profitable than both weapons and clothing, and that's eye modifications. The eye modifications were increased significantly in purchasing price, however, buying the crafting spec is low. The sale price equates to 10% of the total purchase price. So taking a look at the most profitable, there's the trajectory analysis, which is legendary and has a profit of 1,446 eddies. This is actually more profitable than crafting the Ashura in the early game last patch, so you can consider this crafting loop more efficient. You can purchase this crafting spec from Vic as soon as you pay him back.
Was thinking about swapping some chrome. Got any new toys?
Have a look.
When purchasing cyberware modifications, don't forget to click on the Trade tab at the top of the screen. As for the rare tier, there's the threat detector, which you can buy from the RipperDoc in downtown in the city center. Finally, for uncommon, you can craft explosives analysis, which also can be bought from Vix. Since eye modifications do not scale in stats like weapons and clothing, their price only changes if you change your perks or level crafting progression. So, when should you transition from eye mods to crafting mid or late game weapons and clothing? First of all, if there are no eye mods, for example at the epic tier, it'll generally be good to craft it as soon as it outpaces the rare eye mod. However, if we use the legendary tier as a very specific example, from my initial testing, that is just reloading all these different saves I have at some levels, the eye mod is most efficient up until level 29. At roughly level 29, the Yukimura is most profitable by roughly 43 eddies. Then, somewhere around level 32, the Ba Xing Chong or Yinglong will be most profitable. So technically, you can transition to a mid-game weapon to craft, or just use the eye mod until level 30-ish and then swap. So I hope this guide will help you in generating eddies to buy the cyberware, new fancy apartments, and vehicles. Hopefully you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if this helped you or if you have any questions. I'll see you next time, Chooms.